ready to get underway. The 106-pounders for 1, 2, and 3A out on the mat.
I do have to say, if you've never been down here for the Grand March in person, it's something you got to throw on the bucket list. Whether you have a friend, relative, or whatever down here, it's just something you got to see in person.
It's something, even though I've seen for 20 years, it still sends chills down my spine, still seeing it. It's just a neat thing to be able to witness what that music, every time you hear that music, even outside of this,
right.
You think about the Grand March that takes place, to see how excited the coaches, the wrestlers, the fans are for this event. It's an exciting time to be at Assembly Hall.
The whole atmosphere of being down here for the Saturday night finals. You know, past couple of years they've had the Jumbotron video that gets everything started with the history that J.D. Oliva and his company Video Infinity does. Just a great thing there to see. This year it was about a 16.5-minute long video that if you're not down here and you want to check out, head to IllinoisMatmen.com. That video is there. You can check that neat homage out to past wrestlers. They did honor a couple of fallen wrestlers we had this past year with Chris Rushka
and Lindsay Durlocker.
Correct.
Fans getting restless. They're as ready as we are
I'm pumped
to get this underway. Of course, waiting for famous words that start every round here downstate, and many rounds of wrestling all over the place. Let's wrestle.
Introduce you to our Class 1A wrestlers at 106 pounds. Wrestling from Bishop McNamara out of Kankakee with a 17-0 record. He's a freshman, Kyle Simpkins. His opponent, wrestling out of Poplar Grove, North Boone, with a record of 32-3. He's a freshman, Brandon Briggs. That's the match we'll focus on as soon as we get things going here. They're still finishing up some housekeeping items with the mats.
Simpkins, of course, had maybe the best semifinal match we saw, at least in the 1A matches. He wrestled a great match against Gunnar Wanger of Lena Winslow. It went into overtime. Simpkins able to come out on top. Briggs has been impressive himself after finishing second in sectionals last weekend. He finds himself looking to do one better here at the state tournament.
How long have we been doing this? Broadcasting.
We were trying to figure it out at the beginning. The second year with IHSA TV, obviously. We've done the finals for six or 7 years now.
Here we go, the famous words. Just kind of like NASCAR when you hear start your engines.
Start your engines.
106-pound Class 1A championship with the sound of the whistle. We'll be on our way. Right away, Simpkins. Simpkins will be in the lighter color gold singlet. He'll be in the red. Briggs in the green and black singlet from North Boone. He'll obviously be green.
Matthew Rundell of Parker Forest.
Had a chance to talk to Briggs' father right before the finals as he gets a single. Simpkins keeps a whizzer in, flops down to the mat. Briggs stays with him and gets the first points here. He leads 2-0. Just 20 seconds into the first period. They'll go out of bounds.
Briggs definitely the aggressor so far. Shot in, wasn't able to get a takedown, able to shoot in again, able to finish it this time, and he might have a suck
Simpkins
back.
Almost on his back. Simpkins rolls out. Briggs will let him up. He'll get the escape. So it's 2-1, still in favor of Briggs, as Simpkins has a headlock in on Briggs. Briggs doing a good job keeping his hips up, his feet out. He may pop out here with a takedown if Simpkins is not careful. And as I say that, Simpkins comes square around with Briggs.
It's always interesting to see in the state finals what kind of nerves these wrestlers come out with. Two freshmen here. You wondered if they'd feel each other out. Both of them pretty aggressive here early on. Briggs with a couple good shots, able to finish one of them. Simpkins with a pretty good headlock. Briggs did a good job fighting that off. And we're still neutral.
Like I was saying earlier, talked to Briggs' father before the finals and asked them, because both of these wrestlers Names fairly seen around the IKWF circuit. They've never met, so this is their first meeting. This 106-pound weight class was practically full of freshmen.
Really good
most
freshmen.
Most of them IKWF standouts. And not to throw IHSA completely out the door. There are a lot of their top studs that we saw this year as well. So
no, there's just more schools that wrestle IKWF certainly. So especially around the area of these two gentlemen, Chicago area.
Final 10 seconds of the first period. Oh, Simpkins tries to throw. Oh boy. Tries to throw Briggs. Briggs stays heavy on top and
by a toe maybe out of bounds.
That's the end of the first period. Flip of the coin is going to go to Simpkins. He'll look over to his coach. They will defer. Briggs will choose down. Briggs coached by Phil Baker of North Boone. Simpkins coached by Jake Kimberlin. Or is it Ryan? It's not the normal coach, Dale Kimberlin. It's Dale's son. Just can't remember which one it is.
I think it's Jake.
I think you're right. No, Jake's the younger one. Anyway, focus is on the match. 2-1.
Briggs again inches out of bounds, all away from a reversal once again. Briggs just a couple centimeters away from 2 points at the end of the first period. A couple centimeters away again from a reversal. Does a good job. Comes up, looks for a switch. Simpkins brings him back down to the mat.
And they work the edge of the mat again. They'll go out of bounds at 1:25 in the second. Bring it back to the middle. North Boone, a fairly new program to wrestling. About 4 years old now, maybe 5, give or take. 1. Briggs being their first state qualifier.
Not bad for your first state qualifier, huh? Getting to the finals.
Absolutely.
Simpkins looked like he was looking for something, like an inside cradle. Instead, he throws in the legs. He has Briggs broken down flat. Right in the center of the mat if he's going to work anything. That's a good spot to do it. He'd have plenty of room to work with.
You have to be careful he doesn't get too high. Briggs may feel that out, which he kind of is, starting to turn into him. But as I say that, Simpkins grabs Briggs' left arm.
He's got to be careful with, yep, I knew the ref would. That's a tough move to be able to turn someone just because it's so easy to call potentially dangerous. Tough to be able to, what you want to do is try to stretch that arm over your head, but often that's called potentially dangerous before you're even able to do it. So they'll start again with 35 seconds left in the second period. Simpkins has done a good job riding Briggs here. This would be big if he's able to ride him, but now Simpkins is in trouble. Briggs is going to be able to get the reversal and maybe more.
He's got the reversal for sure. He's got 2. Almost had Simpkins over on his back.
Just as we said that, Briggs takes control. He leads 4-1 now. Looking to lock up a cradle, it appears. 7 seconds left to go in the second period.
Simpkins comes out.
Simpkins looking for an escape. 2 seconds. Time is out.
Nope, they don't give him one.
Wow. I guess Briggs still had an underhook, and they're saying that was control.
Said Simpkins' choice. He chooses down for the third and final period of regulation.
And Simpkins looks like he's got an inhaler. He made a motion like...
If you're a rankings guy, which I know I am.
You're the rankings guy.
At 106 pounds, Brandon Briggs is ranked second in the state, with Kyle Simpkins ranked third. Number 1 ranked wrestler, Gunnar Wenger from Lena Winslow, ended up finishing third. What a great semifinal match Simpkins and Wenger had last night.
It really was. Like we said before, it was maybe the best one we saw all night. I mean, both kids wrestled so well. Went to overtime. I think 8-7 was the final. Just a well-wrestled match. You hated to see either of them lose it. But Simpkins has some work to do in the third period of this match if he's going to bring home a state championship. Briggs has wrestled so well so far, been in control of this match, up 4-1. Simpkins needs an escape and then at least a takedown.
Simpkins, we mentioned about rankings earlier, was pretty non-existent throughout the season as Briggs now settles back. Has Simpkins on his back, but not receiving any back points as of yet. Now he is.
Wow, he almost caught him in the first period with that. Now he does catch Simpkins, and he's close to pinning him.
He's got plenty of time on the clock, 1:15 here in the third period. Brandon Briggs of North Boone. Referee James Bussard down. He's looking for
He's awfully close now. There it is! Brandon Briggs!
All right. Your 106-pound Class 1A champion, the freshman from Poplar Grove, North Boone.
Wow.
Brandon Briggs.
He had almost got that in the first period, that same suck back where you grab under the arms and put your chin right in the collarbone. He didn't quite get it in the first period. He caught Simpkins with it and actually didn't get any back points the first time. He stayed with it, got back points, and then gets the fall. 4 minutes and 56 seconds, Brandon Briggs of North Boone. Not bad for a freshman. Your state champion at 106 pounds.
So congratulations to that young man. Like I was mentioning earlier, Simpkins was pretty non-existent on the rankings all season. He really didn't come on, start wrestling. I'm sure he was wrestling in the room, but I'm not sure the reason why he wasn't active in any duels or any tournaments or anything. But he didn't come on till the later part of the season. He took first at the prestigious Chicago Catholic League Championship. So he coming into this championship match with a 17-0 record. Finishes his freshman campaign 17-1.
And a theme that you're going to see, losing in sectionals does not necessarily mean
anything
that you can't be a state champion.
Absolutely.
The next match is maybe the best indication of that in Class 1A. Nelson Baker of Byron finished 4th in sectionals last weekend. He finds himself in the state finals this weekend. And the only thing anyone will ever remember if he wins this will be his state championship.
It's all that counts.
That's exactly right. If you can find a way down here, anything can happen after that. Baker proving that. Briggs proved it earlier.
Sectionals is just your ticket to get here. From there, you've got to do the rest.
So we're waiting for the 3A match to finish up. Looks like they've got some blood time over there. They've had it for a little bit. There's only 17 seconds left to go on that one, so we'll be starting soon.
Byron has a singlet on that I have never seen before.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
And I'm not going to lie to you. I like it.
Class 3A champion.
I always like Byron. Always has interesting singlets for their
They do.
finals.
Remember they used to have the silver ones with
Yep, with the
tiger
paw on back.
The tiger paw.
They have the best warm-up for the finals. It's those old, they look like boxer.
Orange robes.
Boxer robes. Oh, it's great. I love.
Here we go with the 113-pound Class 1A state championship. Practically introduced one of these wrestlers already. He's a 36-8 sophomore from Byron High School, Nelson Baker. He's wrestling a 37-3 sophomore from Toledo Cumberland High School, Nathan Day.
Pounds, Jordan Northrup of Harlem is in green. Mark Tuda of Marist is in red.
On the scoreboard, Nelson Baker is going to be in red. He's in that goldish colored singlet with the Byron Tiger on the right side. Nathan Day of Cumberland is in the all-yellow singlet. He'll be green on the scoreboard. Baker gets a headlock, tosses Day to his back. He's going to get 2 for the takedown and at least 3 here for the near fall.
We would ask that you come down the aisle nearest
Oh, boy.
in the competitors' seating area. Again, parents, we want you to come down the aisle.
Referee's down looking for the fall. Baker has a headlock.
Plenty of time left. A minute left in the first period.
Up the aisle nearest the head table through the competitors.
He's awfully close.
Baker adjusts his body. Day doing a decent job. There's
wow! 1 minute and 6 seconds. Nelson Baker of Byron. What a tournament he had. 4th place at sectionals last weekend. 1st place in state. He defeated the #1 seed first round and has cruised from there. Nelson Baker of Byron, your state champion at 113 pounds as he points to his friends and family in the Byron crowd.
Congratulations to that sophomore from Byron. Of course, if you're a old school wrestling fan from the northern Illinois area, you know that his dad is Bob Baker, former coach at Byron High School. I know he was coach when you and I went through the wrestling program in Harvard. Many great matchups with Byron. And of course, Bob, the former wrestler for Plano High School.
Plenty of wrestling in the Baker family. Bob's dad was a wrestling coach as well as big into wrestling as well. Correct. So exciting to see the youngest Baker bring home a state championship.
Here we go with the 120-pound Class 1A state championship. We'll have a sophomore with a 43-0 record. He's the defending state champion from last year. From Dakota, Josh Elber. His opponent is a familiar opponent to Mr. Elber. He's a 37-3 senior from Sterling Newman Central Catholic, Garrett Webb. I say they're familiar because this is the same matchup that we had last year in the 103-pound weight class, with obviously Elber getting the victory there.
And they wrestled twice this year. Elber coming out on top both times, obviously. Elber undefeated in his high school career to this point. A win tonight will put him halfway towards a pretty unbelievable career. 2 state championships, 2 undefeated seasons.
Now that you bring that up, as Elber working a takedown on the edge of the mat, he gets it. Now that you bring up the 4-time state championship thing, those of you listening who not maybe on the Illinois Matmen boards, Topher Carton, former 2-time Illinois state champion who transferred out to Bettendorf, Iowa, lost his finals tonight.
He lost to a 3-time, must have been a great final. It reminds me of the Benefield Blanton final where wrestlers that had won multiple state championships wrestled against each other. Carton was 3-time, and of his opponent was a 2-time going into the match.
Yep. Only 2 losses his entire high school career, and obviously those 2 came in Iowa, as he was undefeated here in Illinois and won his first 2 state championships.
And he was in 1A, so those 1A fans may remember him wrestling in the state finals.
Have some blood time. Looks like both wrestlers being taken care of, so I'm not sure exactly who's bleeding.
Yeah, it does look like the trainers are, I don't know if they're cleaning up Elber from Webb's blood or vice versa, but trainers were looking at both of them.
Elber wearing the maroon-colored singlet from Dakota. He's red on their scoreboard. Wearing the throwback Dakota singlet.
It does seem to be the singlet they've worn forever.
They changed recently. Webb of Sterling Newman. He'll be green on the scoreboard, wearing the blue and white singlet for Sterling Newman. Yeah. Elber has pretty much dominated everybody this season.
Yeah, Webb's really given them the closest match. I think it was, they wrestled in the sectional semifinals last weekend. 6-1, 8-1, something along those lines, which for Elber constitutes a close match just because he's so dominant against everyone else. Webb and him wrestled a few times last year. They've wrestled now 3 times this year, so definitely familiar with one another. Elber warned for stalling as he's not unable to bring Webb back to the mat as they go out of bounds. First period comes to an end.
It'll be Green's choice. Webb looks over to his coach, Steve Davis. Davis tells him to go down.
And immediately Elber's
gives him the optional escape. So 2-1 is the score as we start the second period.
Webb does a good job on the front headlock there. Elber didn't take a great shot, went in with both his arms out. Webb got him in a front headlock, but Elber quickly able to get back to the position he wants to be in, trying to control Webb's arm and work off of that. The wrestlers go out of bounds in the minute 36.
.30 into the second period here. Still 2-1 in favor of the sophomore from Dakota. Dakota, one of those schools that's pretty rich in wrestling tradition.
They remind me similarly of Sterling Newman in that they always seem to have an individual, even if they don't have a team that's necessarily loaded every year. Dakota's certainly had that as well, as has Newman, the defending state champs, but they always have an individual who's going to be in the finals.
Elber gets a takedown, so he'll open his lead up 4-1 with 1 minute left to go in the second period.
Wrestlers go out of bounds. 48 seconds to go in the second period, and Elber says he's going to let him up. So 4-2 will be your score as they restart in the center. Webb's done a decent job keeping this match close, but Elber just does not give you any room to breathe. It's tough to be able to do a whole lot against him. He controls, does Elber, matches on his feet, and it just doesn't allow for anyone to do a lot against him. Elber again in on a shot. Webb able to fight it off, has Elber in a front headlock. 20 seconds to go in the second period. They're towards the edge of the mat. Elber trying to work off of that. Neither wrestler able to do anything. They both come out of it locked up with 6 seconds to go in the second period. Elber in on a shot. Unable to finish as they run out of time. 4-2 is the score. Elber's going to start the third period on bottom as it's his choice.
I believe Webb is a 4-time state qualifier for Newman. Been in the finals this year, last year. Third period underway. Minute 30 left to go. It's 5-2 in favor of Elber. They go out of bounds to bring it back to the middle. Elber has some heavy hitters sitting in his corner. His uncle is the head coach, Pete Elber, former state champion, 98 pounds for the Indians. And his father, also a state champion for the Dakota, is also sitting in his corner. And of course his cousin winning state a couple of years ago, Vinny Elber.
Under a minute now to go. 5-2. Elber appears to be on his way. Webb's got to create some kind of offense here, which is just so tough to do against someone as talented as Albert. Albert now has Webb in a front headlock, looking to work off of that. .30 seconds left now. Albert in on a single towards the edge of the mat, looking to get a takedown. He does.
18 seconds left to go. They go out of bounds.
7-2 now. Josh Albert appears to be well on his way to his second state championship. Webb wrestled him tough, but Albert just gave him no room to breathe. I mean, there was really no opportunity to take control of this match. Albert controlled it from his feet. Didn't wrestle much on the mat. Didn't have to wrestle much on the mat. He had 3 takedowns, did Albert, and that was plenty. Final 5 seconds of this match coming to an end.
Class 1A 120-pound state champion for the second time and improves his record to 44-0. Josh Albert.
Pretty impressive. I mean, you almost wish that we could stick around later and he could wrestle some of these 2 and 3A guys. I think he would give them all they wanted.
Oh, absolutely.
In fact, I heard rumors of Dakota heading to the Dvorak next year. I hope those rumors are true because that would make for some great wrestling for Albert.
In 4th place, Angelo San Juan.
Going to be moving into the 126-pound Class 1A state championship.
In 3rd place, Trayvon Zavala from Joliet Central.
We'll have a couple of former state champions. One of them a defending.
Got a couple of those matchups tonight. This is one of the ones that we certainly circled when we looked at the finals matchups in 1A tonight.
A junior wrestling from Stillman Valley with a 38-2 record. He's a defending state champion, J.J. Whaley. His opponent is a senior from Wilmington with a 41-1 record, Trent Lyons. He's a state runner-up last year and a state champion the year before that. So this is going to be one of our marquee matchups for the evening, one of a couple like you mentioned. J.J. Whaley in the gold and black singlet. It's more of a tannish gold. He'll be red on the scoreboard. Lyons in the white with purple trim. And he'll be green on the scoreboard.
Providence Catholic will be green on the scoreboard.
Whaley in on a decent shot there, but they go out of bounds. Lyons, formerly with Reed Custer. This is his first year at Wilmington.
Correct.
So if you've heard the name before and thought you heard it at a different school, you were right. He wrestled for Reed Custer until now. At Wilmington this year. Whaley, of course, a familiar name. His brother wrestled downstate. Now JJ doing the same. Whaley a junior, Lyons a senior. And a warning stalling on Lyons. We go under a minute in the first period. Lyons hit for stalling. Lyons in on a couple of half shots. Didn't really get in deep on any of them. But he's able to push Whaley out of bounds. 36 seconds to go as we start it back in the center. Lyons in on an okay shot. Able to push Whaley out of bounds. So we restart again with 25 back in the center. No score. We're in the first period. 126-pound state final.
15 seconds left to go in this first period of this match.
Lions in on a pretty good shot.
Whaley counters. They run out of real estate, though. 2 ticks left on the clock in the first period.
Lions trying to use a fireman's there, unable to get it. He was close to getting something. Whaley did a good job with his hips not to allow him to get a takedown. So we're scoreless after the first period. Whaley has choice to start the second. He's going to choose down. Whaley quickly gets an escape, and he leads 1-0 in the second period.
Whaley's 2 losses on the season have come to 3A and 2A wrestlers, whereas Lions' only loss has come to a 1A wrestler, Devin Bullington. These wrestlers are ranked by Illinois Matmen 1st and 2nd in the state, with Whaley on top.
And now Whaley is hit for stalling, so both wrestlers have been warned for stalling. And Whaley almost had Lions on his back right on the edge of the mat. Lions able to scramble out of it, and the wrestlers are neutral. Out of bounds. 1:19 to go in the second period. Something interesting to note, both wrestlers have been hit for stalling.
And it's somewhat early. Referee Dan Fulcher be leading this match for us, assisted by Tony Clark.
Both wrestlers locked up in the center. Neither of them's had a great shot yet.
They both just kind of been locked up on each other.
Lions seems comfortable underneath Whaley there because he wants to work some kind of tilt, some kind of fireman's. He almost was able to get Whaley with that move in the first period, unable to do it here in the second under similar circumstances. 30 seconds now to go in the second period. Lions again in on a shot.
26 seconds left to go. In the second period. Still 1-0 in favor of J.J. Whaley. Second period comes to an end. It will be Lions' choice. He's going to go neutral.
Whaley definitely known for being good on top. They haven't wrestled yet this year, though, so I don't know if that's an indication that Lions thinks Whaley's really good on top or he doesn't have confidence in him on bottom. I guess a combination of both, but an interesting choice considering he hasn't come up with a great shot yet and only trails by 1. He definitely deliberated about it. He looked over at his coach. His coach wasn't sure for a moment. Looked over at Lions and said, let's go neutral. Lions says, okay, we'll give it a shot. And Whaley's hit for stalling again. So it pays off. 1-1's the score.
I guess all the referee is seeing is just, like I said earlier, them locking up with each other.
Yeah, Lions hasn't had great shots. I mean, he definitely has been the aggressor, I suppose, in this match. But if you were to rate quality shots, I would say neither of them have really had one yet. There's one. Lions is a pretty good shot in the center of the mat. Whaley does a good job sprawling and fighting it off, but Lions got in deep there. I'm not sure.
So with a stalling call, we are all tied up 1-1. Under a minute now left to go in this match in regulation.
Whaley is going to have to be the aggressor here. 39 seconds to go in the match. Third period, 1-1. Whaley trying to go around behind, and he's going awfully close to do it. The wrestlers are out of bounds. They're going to talk about it. Whaley gets the 2. Whaley able to circle around behind. It was a familiar position for these wrestlers. Lions in on a shot. Whaley finally able to get behind and get the 2. So Whaley of Stillman Valley leads 3-1. 30 seconds to go in this match. And this is exactly where Lions did not want to be. He did not choose bottom for a reason. A quick stalling call there against Whaley makes it a 3-2 match. 3-2 now is your score. J.J. Whaley in the lead. He's been hit for stalling 3 times. Lions 2 points, both on stalling calls. Now 10 seconds left. Lions trying to get away to tie this match. Lions has broken down Whaley flat. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Whaley's going to be able to hold on. J.J. Whaley of Stillman Valley hangs on, and he is your state champion at 126 pounds. 3-2 your final. In all honesty, it was a strange match.
It was not a.
Neither wrestler wrestled to the best of their abilities. I think both of them would admit. Whaley was hit for stalling 3 different times. Those were 2 of Lions' points. Whaley gets the takedown in the 3rd period that proves decisive as he jumps into his coach's arms. About to get underway here on mat number 1. 1A final. Max Hubbard of Sterling Newman wrestling Andy Rodewald of Wilmington. Rodewald in on a shot early. He got in deep on a shot. Ends up in a scramble where both guys have one another's legs. I can't imagine this ending anything but a stalemate, and it is. A good shot by Rodewald to start the match. Rodewald a 36-2 junior. Hubbard a 41-2 senior. This is the 132-pound state championship match.
Obviously, we talked a little bit before with Sterling Newman's success. They've got a streak going of finalists. They also have a streak going for state champions. I want to say it's probably about 11 or 12 years in a row now they've had a finalist, with 7 years. With 7 years as a state champion. So this could be Sterling Newman's first shot. This could be Sterling Newman's first shot at a state champion to keep that streak alive. They have a couple more chances.
They have 4 guys in the finals altogether. Of course, Webb just lost his finals match. Hubbard has a match here. Troy wrestles later. And I'm forgetting the last Sterling Newman wrestler. Rodewald almost scoring a takedown on the edge of the mat. Hubbard now, is he going to be able to keep in Rodewald? He is. So Hubbard able to get the takedown on the very edge of the mat, takes a 2-0 lead. Max Hubbard on top. 25 seconds to go in the first period. Rodewald was close to getting a takedown on the edge of the mat. Hubbard able to keep his feet in bounds, and he's the one who comes up with 2. 15 seconds to go in the first period. Hubbard has Rodewald broken down in the center of the mat.
Hubbard in the blue and white singlet is green on the scoreboard. Rodewald in the purple and black Wilmington Wildcats singlet will be red.
Rodewald will start the second period on bottom. Hubbard covers, and away we go. Rodewald comes to his feet. Hubbard drops him back down to the mat. Rodewald looking to get a roll. Hubbard rides him tough. Just keeping the pressure on Rodewald. Hubbard now looking for a tilt, and he's going to get it. Max Hubbard's going to get back points here. Looks like 3 back points coming his way. Referee has not awarded them yet because Hubbard still has Rodewald's arm behind his back.
Referee this match, Jim Carnahan.
And gives it up.
One of the Grand Marshals this evening that was honored before we started the wrestling tonight.
Hubbard with a 5-0 lead now. Move that he scored on was one that you've got to have the arm on. You've got to keep that arm of your opponent tight. Otherwise, when you roll through, you're going to be in trouble. Hubbard had that arm tight, able to get the 5 count for a 3 near fall and a 5-0 lead. So we head under 30 seconds to go in the second period. Max Hubbard of Sterling Newman in control. Got that deep waist on Rodewald. Rodewald tries to roll. Hubbard able to foul to this point. Both wrestlers end up on their hips. 2 seconds left as Rodewald tries to roll out. Hubbard just does a good job just staying just as tight as possible against him. Rodewald unable to go anywhere. Hubbard has choice in the third period. He chooses down. Rodewald gives them the escape, so they start the third period neutral. 6-0. Max Hubbard in the lead. Rodewald in another good shot. He had a good one in the first period too. Can he finish this one off? Hubbard gets a whizzer in and puts a quarter Nelson in on Rodewald. Rodewald stays with it, still in on that single leg. Still nothing. They're close to the edge of the mat now. Rodewald goes to Hubbard's head, and the wrestlers are out of bounds. Rodewald came close to getting that takedown. He sure worked hard for it. He did a good job staying with it, staying in on that single leg. But Hubbard able to avoid being taken down as the wrestlers went out of bounds. Now Hubbard in on a shot. Hubbard hooks the ankle and gets the 2. Right on the edge of the mat where Hubbard got his first 2 of the match. So Max Hubbard with an 8-0 lead now. It feels like if this match stayed on its feet, Rodewald has a chance. Rodewald had a couple of good shots, but Hubbard able to finish both of his takedowns. One off of a great shot that Rodewald had, the other one off of a good shot that Hubbard had. But Hubbard's just controlling Rodewald on the mat. Rodewald has been unable to get away from him. And so with a minute left to go, Max Hubbard appears to be well on his way to a state championship.
These two have met up previously, with Hubbard coming away the victor. They are ranked first and second in the state. Hubbard first, Rodewald second. Hubbard's 2 losses have come to Bruno, which we'll see coming up next from Sandwich, and John Morrell from Leroy. It came early in the season, midway in the season.
Again, Rodewald tries a roll, unable to do anything, and he ends up flat in the center of the mat. Hubbard puts in the power half, trying to stretch Rodewald out. He breaks Rodewald flat in the center of the mat. No back points, but effective as a way to continue to burn the clock. We're under 10 seconds to go now. Max Hubbard is going to be your state champion as the Sterling Newman Catholic fans start to stand. The final, 8-0. Max Hubbard goes out as a senior, 42-2, as he flexes in front of his fans. Your state champion at 132 pounds, Class 1A.
The streak continues.
Something in the water at Sterling Newman. 8 years in a row now with a state champion. Is it 12 years in a row now for a state finalist?
It sounds about right. I'm sure we're off. We've been off about everything else this weekend.
It seems like it's been a lot more than that. They've certainly had their fair share of finalists and champions. Even before that streak began, they've been bringing home medals from the individual state tournament.
Here we go with a marquee matchup at 138 pounds. Two undefeated wrestlers.
In the red bands, in the green bands, from
Alphonse Bruno
the 2A match at 138
is 36-0 senior from Sandwich.
Crystal Lake Central will be Reed.
And wrestling a senior from Leroy with a record of 41-0, Justin Myers.
We talked about marquee matchups before the final. This one hits both of them. Both wrestlers undefeated, both of them former state champions. So this one should be a really interesting match. Bruno finished second a year ago in 2A. I believe he was a state champion the year before that.
Correct.
Myers, of course, in 1A, a state champion.
I had to pause, Thad, because when the PA announcer was announcing Bruno's name.
And Myers with a nice takedown right on the edge of the mat. Picked up Bruno, brought him down. Justin Myers of Leroy takes a 2-0 lead.
They've been calling him Alfonso Bruno. And in fact, it is just Alphonse. I actually had that corrected by his father once.
Bruno quickly with an escape, 2-1 now. Under a minute to go in the second period. Bruno awfully close to getting a takedown that would give him the lead. But there's running out of time here. 10 seconds to go in the first period. 7 seconds to go now. 3 seconds. Myers doing a great job and doesn't give up anything. So a good scramble. Bruno in on a good shot. Myers able to fight it off. And 2-1 in favor of Myers after one. Myers has choice. He's going to go down. So looking to open up his lead by another point. Wrestling gets underway in the second period. Bruno still on that ankle. Still on that ankle. He's been on it the whole period, and usually there's a 5-second rule on that before stalling's called. Myers gets away from Bruno. It's 3-1 now. Justin Myers of Leroy.
Wrestlers at 132 pounds. Please report to the awards area at this time.
Bruno has to be confident he can get in on a shot. He was able to do it at the end of the first period, unable to finish it. Bruno now tries to shuck Myers by and keep him in bounds. Myers able to scramble, not give up the takedown as the wrestlers go out of bounds. 3-1. Justin Myers of Leroy with the lead. He had a nice takedown in the first period right on the edge of the mat. Bruno almost had one himself at the end of the first, unable to get it. Myers started the second with an escape. Leads 3-1 as we had under a minute to go in the second period. Bruno in on a shot, a single leg. He's able to get his arms locked around Myers' legs. Myers fights it off. They're towards the edge of the mat. Myers hasn't given up anything yet. Bruno's going to try to keep him on the mat. Got Myers' ankle. Bruno grabs for his other ankle. Awfully close to getting the takedown, but they go out of bounds.
Myers very smart on where he was at on the mat. Kind of pulled his leg out a little bit so Bruno couldn't grab onto it and pull it in and get the two.
Definitely a precarious spot there because you don't want to look like you're fleeing the mat. It's obviously a violation and would have been a point for Bruno. Myers was smart to look like he was right there on the edge of the mat. Bruno now tries to go around behind Myers, still unable to get the takedown. And a warning stalling called on Myers. As the second period comes to an end, Bruno will choose bottom to start the third. So remember that warning as we head into the third period. Myers just warned at the end of the second. As we get underway in the third, Bruno immediately with an escape. So this match is going to be decided
on their feet, maybe, unless that that stalling call comes in anywhere.
Great ankle pick. Low single by Myers, but Bruno able to scramble and not give up anything yet. Bruno breaks Myers flat. Myers hanging onto an ankle. Bruno hanging onto an ankle. Referee calls stalemate. Good action in this match. Either wrestler seems capable of getting the takedown that'll put this match away. Or at least certainly change the course of this match. Minute 15 and ticking remaining. Wrestlers on the edge of the mat, and they're going to go out of bounds. A minute 7 remaining now. We head back to the center. Myers of Leroy leads 3-2 over Bruno of Sandwich. Both wrestlers undefeated. Both of them have a state championship already under their belt. Bruno now in on a double leg. He's got a nice double leg. Is he going to be able to finish it? He's got plenty of time. He gets the 2.
It's a 2. Myers lets go. 4-3.
Bruno with a great double leg. He tried a single leg the whole match, was unable to finish it. Finally shoots in on a double. Able to get the takedown. Now leads 4-3, and he has Myers broken down flat towards the center of the mat. Myers tries to build a base and get an escape that would send this match into overtime. Bruno tries to throw in the legs. Myers trying to get Bruno high. And Bruno able to stay behind him with 20 seconds now to go. Bruno has not been warned for stalling, something to keep in mind, but Myers almost comes behind for a reversal. Bruno able to hang on to that leg, now 10 seconds left. Bruno's happy just to sit here.
They go out of bounds with 5 on the clock. Final 5 seconds here in this match at 138 pounds. 4-3 is a score in favor of Alphonse Bruno of Sandwich. And he's going to hang on to finish his high school career undefeated and a state champion. Your Class 1A state champion from Sandwich with a record of 37-0, Alphonse Bruno.
It was a great match. Really well wrestled by both guys. You hate that one of them had to lose. Myers wrestled really well. He had a great takedown in the first period. He almost had another takedown later on, but Bruno able to get the big takedown with less than a minute to go. A great double leg. Able to ride Myers out, and he's your state champion.
Mark McDonald from Stillman Valley in the Green Bay.
Did we lose us for a second?
I stepped on the cord, but we're good.
We're underway on mat number 1. Mark McDonald of Morrison wrestling Talon Paul of Stillman Valley. Morrison a 25-1 senior. Talon Paul a 30-3 junior. This is a rematch of the Byron sectional.
Right on the scoreboard will be Kevin Moylan of Stack.
McDonald with a nice shot and a takedown to start this match. He leads 2-0. Referee's going to stop the match. Looks like we've got maybe some blood on Paul. It is. So he stops it. McDonald, a 2-0 lead early on. He had a nice shot, nice takedown.
So some blood time out here. getting things situated so I don't step on any more cords.
We almost lost Mike over here, which would be a shame. We almost lost the scoreboard in the center. Looks like it went out for a second. All kinds of technical issues going on around here.
Because I stepped on the cord, the scoreboard's going out?
I hope not.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, the power that you have. McDonald gave up an escape, so we start neutral as we get going again. He's about to get another takedown, it looks like, and he does. So McDonald of Morrison has opened up a 4-1 lead, looking to end his career with a state championship in his senior season.
Already has a football state championship this year for the Mustangs of Morrison.
And it's his brother that
Twin
is
brother.
wrestling.
That'll be wrestling in the 195-pound weight class. Championship match coming up later.
That's his twin brother.
They are twins.
And they're 50 pounds difference.
Give or take a few.
So did the one that weighs more steal food from Mark when they were growing up? 50 pounds is a big difference for your twin.
I don't know.
Come on, you're flashy. You got to know these things. Another blood timeout. We've got time to discuss stuff like this.
I want to know who they beat and who they lose to, how they finish at tournaments. I don't care what they eat.
That's a story, though. 50 pounds difference between twins. They're obviously not identical twins.
Tell you what.
You're flashy. You know it all. You know what they eat.
Andre Morgan, Mr. Twister down there, is interviewing the champions as they come off the mat. If one of the McDonald's happens to win, which I'm sure one of them will, if not both, I don't know. Match still has to be wrestled. Let's have Twister ask that question.
I don't know if it's probably the appropriate time to ask the question.
I really don't think it's an appropriate time to talk about it, to be honest with you.
We're in blood time. We got 5 minutes potentially here to burn.
Oh, boy. Here we go. 1 minute, 6 seconds on the clock in the first period. It is 4-1 in favor of the lighter McDonald of Morrison.
Thank you. He's going to give up an escape again here. So
Okay.
It'll be 4-. Now he's going to start with an optional start, it looks like. There it is. Wanted the opportunity to pound on Paul's head a little bit more, I guess. So 4-2 now your score. McDonald still in charge. Paul's wrestled really impressively in this tournament. McDonald took care of him in sectionals, but the way Paul wrestled downstate, taking out Evan Weaver of Normal U High, one of the other favorites, pinning him as a matter of fact. It was a close match, but Paul was able to catch him and pin him, so you thought, gosh, Paul seems to be peaking at the right time. But he finds himself trailing 4-2 as McDonald's had a couple nice takedowns to start this match. McDonald in on a shot, but he goes out of bounds. 27 seconds left to go as we'll restart in the center.
Final 20 seconds of the first period here. It's 4-2, still in favor of McDonald, the senior.
And McDonald looks to get a cradle, and he's got it. He's got Paul in a cradle, and he's in trouble. Only 5 seconds to go. There's the pin. Mark McDonald of Morrison wins by fall in 1 minute and 56 seconds over Talon Paul of Stillman Valley. When McDonald locked it up, you knew that he had it tight. The only question was, would he be able to have enough time? He had 4 seconds to spare. Throws his headgear to the side, hugs both his coaches. Mark McDonald, a state champion. Not bad. Football state championship in the fall, wrestling state championship in the winter. It's going to be tough to match that in the spring.
I was going to say, I wonder what sport he plays in the spring. Our stat people on Matman right now, that's something for you to find out for us.
What's that? Any three sport champions?
No, I'm saying if McDonald does anything in the spring.
Oh.
If I had to venture to guess, I'd say he's a track guy.
East with a record of 42-2.
All right, Thad, here we go with the 152-pound Class 1A state championship. We have a undefeated junior with a record of 42-0 from Mercer County Aledo, Zach Nelson. And he's going up against a junior, former state champion from Sterling Newman Central Catholic with a 25-4 record this season, Brian Bars.
Bars is all the pressure off now. Sterling Newman has their state champion this year, so he can just go out there and wrestle. Try to bring home a second state championship this season for Sterling Newman. Both wrestlers juniors, like you mentioned. They go out of bounds. 35 seconds gone in the first period. No score.
Bars, like we mentioned, former state champion 2 years ago. Did not make it out of a very extremely tough Oregon sectional last year. But nonetheless, back in the state finals.
Mercer tries to sweep Bars by, unable to do it as the wrestlers go out of bounds. 45 seconds to go. And Nelson tries to do the same thing in the middle of the mat. Bars able to fight it off. As we head under 30 seconds to go in the first period. No score.
Award winners at 145 pounds, please report to the awards area.
Nelson in on a double leg. Bars able to counter, and they go out of bounds. 14 seconds now to go in the first period. First period comes to an end, no score. Match between Nelson of Mercer County and Bars of Sterling Newman. You never know what's going to happen in team sectionals as far as matchups, but these two teams wrestle one another on Tuesday, so they could possibly wrestle once again.
Nelson does a good job getting away from Bars. Happens in the first 10 seconds, so it's 1-0 right now in favor of Nelson, the junior from Mercer County.
Nelson in on a shot. Bars able to fight it off, and the wrestlers go out of bounds. So Nelson with a 1-0 lead in the second period. And we restart in the center. Nelson brings Bars to the mat in a front headlock. Tries to grab for the far leg, unable to do it. And the wrestlers go back to tied up. Nelson again shucks Bars' head down. Nothing comes of that. They're right on the edge of the mat. Referee calls stalemate and says, let's start fresh in the center. Minute 4 remaining in the second period. 1-0 Nelson of Aledo, Mercer County.
Referee gets down and tells them both, let's keep it here in the middle.
In on a shot is Nelson. Bars able to sprawl, get away, and Bars is hit for stalling. So Bars hit for his first warning, something to keep note as we get later in this match. He's been hit and he trails 1-0. Nelson has been the aggressor so far. So we head under 20 seconds to go in the second period. Nelson in on a shot. Bars able to sprawl. Has Nelson on the edge of the mat as we head under 10 seconds to go in the second period. will start fresh in the center. And away we go.
Ooh.
Nelson tries to go in on a low single, unable to get it. Tries to get a front headlock as time runs out in the second period.
Be Barr's choice. Looks over to his coach, Steve Davis, assisted by Brock Rude. Both former Sterling Newman wrestlers.
And gives up the escape to Bars. In on a really good shot was Nelson, but Bars able to sprawl and go out of bounds. So 1-1 still your score. Bars tries to go in on a shot, unable to get very far, and backs out. Wrestlers locked up. Bars with an underhook, and he controls Nelson's wrist. As the wrestlers once again on the edge of the mat. That's certainly been a theme this match.
Yes,
They've
it is.
wrestled a lot on the edge. Nelson once again is the aggressor, and Bars gets hit for stalling a second time, so Nelson now with a 2-1 lead. A 2-1 lead for Zach Nelson of Mercer County. Bars hit for the second time for stalling. Once again, they're on the edge of the mat and they go out of bounds. 59 seconds to go. I don't think Bars knows he's trailing. Both of his coaches say, hey, look at the scoreboard. You're down 2-1. You got to go. And now Bars, immediately after that, seems to be the aggressor. He has a double underhook. He tried to work a shot off of it. So far unsuccessful, but Nelson's now hit for stalling. So Bars has been hit twice. Nelson gets hit for the first time with 41 seconds to go. As of course they go out of bounds. Nelson immediately puts in a little bit of a shot to start after the whistle. 30 seconds now. Bars tries
a fireman's, but comes up with a single leg and wraps around and gets the two.
What a move by Bars, able to get the...
He's going to have to keep wrestling, though. He's going to have to move up.
Bars tried that single leg.
Yeah, they're both just kind of stopped there. I don't know if...
Bars is fine with that. He's got Nelson on his hip. Nelson tries to roll through, and he might be able to do it. This is trouble. Nelson's going to get at least one.
At least give him one. Time expires.
Time expires. What are the referees are going to talk about this? This has to be one, you would imagine.
Of course, they got to get together. They didn't give
nothing. The referee doesn't signal anything. It's over. Brian Bars of Sterling Newman's going to be your champion. It looked like for sure control was lost. Bars did a good job staying with him. So at the end of it, it looked like Bars didn't lose control, but for a moment there certainly could have been one given, I thought. No points awarded. Brian Bars of Sterling Newman, your state champion at 152 pounds. An unbelievable end to that match. Bars tried a fireman's carry, was unable to get it, but in the process of that, he got in deep on a single leg. In the process of getting that, he was quickly able to switch up to a double, get the takedown. We talked about Nelson not moving. He was kind of on his hip. Nelson, right on the edge of the mat, was able to scoot his hips out and almost reverse Bars. They ended up in a scramble where it looked like Bars lost control. He apparently didn't lose it completely. No points were awarded, and Brian Bars wins the state championship at 152 pounds.
3A 145 state champion Kevin Moylan, a senior from Stagg, with a record of 45-1.
All right, Dad, here we go with the 160-pound Class 1A state championship. We'll have an undefeated senior from Reed Custer, wrestling with a 37-0 record, Billy Chansey. He's a state champion last year, and he's wrestling last year's state champion as well with a record of 9-1, a senior from Winnebago, Trace Engelkiss. Angle Kiss with the black singlet, orange trim, is red on the scoreboard.
Looks like he got poked in the eye.
Yes, he did. Unintentional.
Yeah, definitely unintentional, but you could see he was in pain right at the beginning.
Chansey is wrestling in the white singlet with the black and yellow trim on the side. He'll be green on your scoreboard. Angle Kiss is a state champion from last year. Chansey as well. Trace at 152, Chansey at this weight class.
One minute old, still no score. Neither of them have had a good shot yet. In fact, I don't think either of them have gone in for a half-hearted shot or even a bad shot yet. So both wrestlers working for hand control, both in the center of the mat, both trying to get the other in a spot they can score from. Angle Kiss goes in for a single leg, picks it up. Still has that single leg of Chansey's. Chansey grabs around Angle Kiss's waist. Chansey's in trouble here. Angle Kiss is going to get the two. Well, Angle Kiss of Winnebago leads 2-0, and he's got Chansey's legs split. Chansey able to get back to a base with 3 seconds, and he might get a reversal here. He does.
Wow. So as the first period comes to an end, Chansey does a nice job coming up to his base and getting around to get the reversal.
That's a big move there right at the end of the first period. There were 4 seconds left. Chansey able to tie this match up, and he starts the second period on bottom. So Angle Kiss, after getting in on his single leg and finishing it off, Chansey comes right back. Gets a big reversal of his own.
Trace Angle Kiss's choice for the second. He deferred. Chansey chose down. That's how we're in the position we are now.
Angle Kiss has Chansey broken down flat, trying to put in the legs and work a power half. He does have the leg in the center of the mat. He's trying to crank on Chansey's right arm. So far unable to do much of anything, but he does have Chansey broken down flat and has ridden Chansey really tough the first minute of the second period.
Our apologies to you at home. We have no control over the referee.
Yeah.
Who was standing directly in the way of the wrestling.
So we couldn't see necessarily what was going on either. All we knew was that Chansey was broken down flat. Referee Tony Clark calls a stalemate. And we'll start back again. Chansey comes to his feet. Angle Kiss drops down to a single and brings Chansey back down to the mat. Angle Kiss now puts the legs in on the other side and looks to crank on Chansey's left side. Now Angle Kiss tries to put both legs in. 30 seconds left now. Trying a similar move that Angle Kiss tried on the other side. Still unable to score any points, but he is able to ride Chansey really tough. Chansey hasn't really shown any signs of coming close to getting out. Angle Kiss hasn't given him any opportunity to get out of the position he's in until now, but time's going to run out. So it'll be 2-2 heading into the third period. You would imagine Angle Kiss is going to choose down. He does.
He does, yep. Let's see how well Chansey does. Third final period of regulation is off. Angle Kiss tries to stand up to a leg. Chansey doing well, riding that left leg of Engelkiss. Now Engelkiss flops out, gets out, so he goes up 3-2. Chansey, Reed Custer's coach, Andy Gleichster, tells him, let's go after it now. You're down by 1. Engelkiss has a leg. Chansey has a whizzer in around Engelkiss's right arm. Both men up on their feet. Chansey does a nice job defending that.
A really good job. Engelkiss was in deep on a single. Chansey was able to put in the whizzer and then able to get in a spot that he was much more comfortable in a much less dangerous spot. And now he gets on a really good shot. Chansey in on a great shot on Engelkiss. Engelkiss trying to pound on Chansey's head. We are under a minute to go. Chansey still on Engelkiss's head, looking to grab his other ankle. Chansey grabs at the waist. Now has both of Engelkiss's legs. Engelkiss is really in trouble here. 40 seconds to go now. 3-2, Trace Engelkiss leads. Chansey's awfully close to getting a takedown in the center of the mat, and he gets it. Billy Chansey of Reed Custer with a 4-3 lead. 30 seconds to go. Engelkiss trying to get away. Chansey on his ankle, unable to hold on. We're tied 4-4. Engelkiss
oh boy,
almost ended up in trouble there. He tried to go for Chansey's head. If Chansey was able to go underneath, he had a wide open legs to shoot on, but 4-4 now. Under 10 seconds to go in the third period. Nice takedown by Billy Chansey. Engelkiss in on a leg, but he's going to run out of time.
We're going to go to overtime.
It's fitting. It's been a really good match. Engelkiss looks hurt. The trainer's going to come over and take a look at him. Not sure what the problem is. Looks like maybe his mouth. Tony Clark was pointing at. Maybe blood. We've started the injury time clock. He looks like he's in a lot of pain. I'm not sure necessarily what it is. We hate to speculate. We're not doctors, and we're definitely not doctors from 100 feet, that's for sure.
I did play one on TV once. Have 2 minutes of injury time here. If he's unable to compete at the conclusion of that, the match will end in an injury default. I highly doubt that will happen, however.
Hard to imagine now.
Explaining the rules.
So looks like Engelkiss is going to be okay, or at least okay enough to wrestle. It'd be, whoa, and it looks like we lost the headgear. The state champion in 2A threw his headgear, and it ended up right in between Chansey and Engelkiss. It's a good thing they weren't wrestling. Imagine what that would cause in an overtime period. So we get underway in overtime. Chansey and Engelkiss, both of them have takedowns in this match. Both of them are capable of getting that winning takedown. Both of them have shown they're very capable on their feet. Both have good single legs as they finish for takedowns. Engelkiss in on a shot, unable to finish it. He comes out of it, and they end up both on their knees. 30 seconds left now in the sudden death period. Chansey in on a really good shot. Is he going to be able to finish it on the edge of the mat? Chansey brings Engelkiss back towards the middle. Drops down, looking for that second leg. Engelkiss still fighting it off. Chansey looking for that second ankle. He's awfully close to getting what would be the winning takedown. Engelkiss fights him off to this point. Engelkiss still fighting him off. Chansey gets the 2 on the edge of the mat. Billy Chansey of Reed Custer, your state champion. He defeats Trace Engelkiss of Winnebago. What a great match. What a great scramble. Billy Chansey of Reed Custer finishes his senior year 38-0. He is your state champion at 160 pounds, Class 1A. What a great match.
Okay, if I can have your attention at the
wow.
award stand. 1A award stand area for the 152-pound award.
We'll have a senior from Harvard with a 43-3 record, Dan Stott.
Harvard in the green.
And Drake Holland, a 39-2 senior from Heron High School. Stott in the Harvard's gold championship singlet. Stott will be green on the scoreboard, and Holland in the black singlet with the orange trim with the H on the side. He'll be red on the scoreboard.
Nice double leg by Stott. Is he going to be able to finish it on the mat? Holland and Stott have not wrestled yet this year. Stott's losses this year, I believe 2 of them have come to the same wrestler from Wisconsin.
Correct. A nationally ranked wrestler from Wisconsin.
Whose name now escapes me, of course. And the other loss coming to Jake Apple.
Jake Stilling from Wisconsin. Lost to him twice, and yes, the other one to Apple.
Who, of course, we're going to see next match. It's kind of interesting how it's worked. Engelkist wrestled Stott. Stott wrestled Apple. All of them in the state finals. All one weight separating each other. Looks like we've got some early blood time for Stott. So they'll wrap him up so that we can get started again.
Yeah. Way to throw me off.
We have a correction at the 3A 152-pound state.
I'm so excited. It's not to Apple, it's to Deckau.
That's right, Deckau. It was Apple last year. You didn't correct me.
No,
You're Mr. Harvard.
Paying attention to this match.
Well, it looks like they've wrapped Stott. Something on his forehead that was bleeding.
Trying to get the red blood off the gold singlet. I don't blame him.
I don't know that it's gonna happen unless they've got some Tide with them. So it looks like we're gonna get back started here. The trainer's still on the edge of the mat, but referees didn't seem to mind. No score early on. Stott and Holland. It's easy to see how Stott was bleeding. They're both rubbing their heads violently with one another. Like a rugby match. We've talked about brothers that seem to come back, or names that seem to come back. Stott, of course, is a name synonymous with Harvard at this point. There's been all kinds of Stotts that have wrestled for Harvard. None of them have won the state championship. This would be the first one for the Stott family.
This is the 21st consecutive year that a Stott has been involved in Harvard wrestling.
I thought you were going to say downstate, and I thought surely it hasn't been that much. 21
Holland
years, wow.
Has a double of his own now. He had a single but changed up to a double. Both men wrestling on the edge of the mat. And they'll go out of bounds with 37 seconds on the mat, or on the clock.
Holland did a good job getting in on a shot there. Unable to finish it. As Stott able to sprawl, and they go out of bounds. So 30 seconds to go now in the first period.
.14 seconds now left to go. Working the edge of the mat.
Nice shot in by Holland. Is he going to be able to finish it? 2-1, time's out.
I don't think he had it.
Stott put in the whizzer, and I think that saved him. Stott had the whizzer in. It was awfully close. Awfully close to a takedown by Holland. Not given. We're scoreless after 1.
Holland's choice for the second. He defers to Stott. Stott will choose down.
They go out of bounds. 8 seconds into the second period. In almost every case, you'd say Stott was stronger than who he was wrestling. I don't know if that's true in this match. Holland's built pretty well himself.
Stott tries to sit out, do a switch. Holland does a great job following him, hangs onto that leg. Now switches up to a double.
Dumps Stott down to his hip. And Holland tries to work back up to Stott and break him down. Holland doing a good job here 40 seconds into the second period. No score in this match. Holland trying to put the leg in. As we are on the edge of the mat with close to a minute to go. A minute 2 as the wrestlers go out of bounds.
Holland ranked 3rd by Illinois Matmen. Stott ranked 1st. Holland's 2 losses on the season. They've come at a...
Holland has the cradle. Sorry, Mike, but it looks like he's got a cradle locked up with 50 seconds to go. He's got plenty of time, and he's in the middle of the mat. This could be trouble for Stott. Holland still seems to have it locked up with 40 seconds. So far, unable to do anything. Stott trying to pop his head out. And the referee calls a stalemate. I'm not sure about that one. It looked like Holland still had a chance to score there, but stalemate is given. Not sure about that. Stott now tries to switch off the whistle, unable to get it. 30 seconds left to go here in the second period. Holland's done a great job in this period, keeping the pressure on Stott. .20 seconds. Stott tries to build a base. With 13 seconds, we have a stalling called on Holland. So stalling called on Holland. When it's called on the top man, wrestling stops and we start over. So we start again. Stott again tries to switch. Unable to get anything. Stott tries to come to his feet with 5. Holland again follows. Stott tries another switch, and with 2, Holland does a great job that period riding all of it.
Holland's choice for the third. He will choose down. No score here to start the third period. 170-pound state championship match. Stott of Harvard in the gold singlet. Holland of Heron in the black singlet.
Stott is pretty good on top himself. It'll be interesting to see what he is able to do against Holland. Holland did such a good job, almost had a cradle in the second period. Unable to get that, but able to ride Stott really tough. He was warned for stalling. That's something to keep in mind as this match gets into later stages.
Holland has been warned for stalling. Keep that in the back of your mind. They go out of bounds. Looks like blood starting to seep through on that bandage on Stott's forehead.
30 seconds into the third period. We start in the center.
Holland stands up. Stott grabs the leg and takes him back down.
Stott has Holland broken down, looking like he's not going to go anywhere now.
Last state champion at 170 pounds from Manuka, Jake Russell.
Trying to work something ball and chain series. Stott towards the edge of the mat.
He's just kind of walking out. Turns into him. They go out of bounds. 53 seconds on the clock.
Whew. Getting down to it here, obviously. Stott's looking for a point-scoring move. Holland looking for a way out. It would give him a 1-0 lead. Stott brings Holland back down to the mat. And with 40 seconds left, still no score. Holland awfully close on his back there. If Stott's able to suck him back, he could be in trouble. Holland able to fight off of it. Stott still riding tough with 30 left now. They're towards the edge of the mat, and they go out of bounds. With 20 seconds left, it looks like they're going to stop it for blood seep through enough now where trainers are going to come over and either put a new bandage on or fix the bandage that's currently on. No score in this match. Holland rode Stott very tough the whole second period. Stott's done the same so far in the third period. So the blood time continues. This is the last match going on. The other two have finished up. It's 170-pound Class A state championship. And then they cut the blood time.
Levi Fortner from Heron, please report to the awards area. Levi Fortner from Heron, please report to the awards area.
Reset the matchup for you when we return from blood time. No score. We're in the third period, 20 seconds left to go in this championship match. Holland has been warned for stalling.
Away we go. Holland again comes to his feet. Nope, looks like we're going to have a caution on Holland.
Yeah.
That was the secondary ref that called it.
Why aren't they stopping the clock? Good grief.
It should have never started, so they can reset it. That'll be an easy reset to 20. Stott's thinking, gosh, I just rode him for 1:40, and you're going to reset the clock to 2 minutes? Holland's thinking, yes, I got 2 more minutes to escape.
Come on. Reset the dang clock.
We mentioned before that all the matches are being done by computer this year. They tested that for a couple mats last year. Now they're doing it on all mats, so it's the computer that's causing problems. You hate to see it at this point because this match has been stop and go as it is. So they're trying to get this figured out. And it looks like they finally figured it out.
Golly.
So 20 seconds to go. Everyone's eyes on this match. It's the only one left going on. And once again, Holland comes to his feet. Stott drops to a single leg. He's going to have to bring him down or he's going to be hit. Stott has not been warned yet for stalling. And he's been hit now. So Stott has been warned for stalling. And he drops Holland down. And Stott almost catches Holland on his back. But time runs out. So both wrestlers now have been hit for stalling. We have a 1-minute sudden death overtime match. I think I've lost a mic for the rest of it. I'll be doing this one by myself. Stott in on a shot, but they go out of bounds. 47 seconds left. Still no score in this match. Both wrestlers rode each other tough in their respective periods. Holland rode Stott tough in the second. Stott rode Holland tough in the third. That's where we stand right now. Holland in on a shot. He's got deep in on a double. Can Holland finish it? He drops Stott to his hip. Stott grabs through the crotch. If Holland gets his head out, he's in trouble. Stott in trouble. Holland close to getting the takedown, but Stott able to stay away from the takedown so far. 10 seconds to go now. Stott doing a great job scrambling with Holland. Holland awfully close to a takedown. He's done a great job himself, and they go out of bounds. 1 second to go in sudden death. What a great scramble in that match. Holland got in on a great shot. Stott did a great job fighting it off. And that's going to be the end of the first overtime. So 2 30-second overtime periods. This will be interesting to see how this plays out. Neither wrestler has scored. Stott has the first choice. He goes down. Start this first session of 30-second overtime. Holland throws in the leg. Stott comes to base. Locked hands were called on Holland. A point is awarded to Stott. I thought he had a cradle.
They're going to wave it off. It was a cradle.
It looked like a cradle. The secondary ref is the one who made the call. He called locked hands on Holland. They're going to call it off. I think that's the right call. It looked like a cradle to me. The Herring coaches, rightfully so, were incensed. You would imagine. So it's 0-0. As we'll restart it here with 22 seconds left. Stott again comes to his feet. And again, Holland drops him back to the mat. 16 seconds now to go. We'll restart it in the center. Holland on an ankle. Stott comes to his feet. Holland brings him back down to the mat with 11. With 10. With 9. Holland again with that cradle that he had before. Just locks up those arms. And Stott's not going to be able to go anywhere. So Holland does his job in the first 30 seconds. Stott now tries to do his in the second part of the 30 seconds. It's not sudden death. We'll wrestle the whole 30 seconds unless there's a fall. How does it work if there's no score? Who gets the choice?
They flip a coin.
They do flip a coin. They do it again, huh?
Yes.
So Holland comes to his feet. Stott grabs Holland's arm through the crotch.
Jeez.
Holland trying to switch through. Stott catches him and catches him on his back almost. Holy cow.
He's got him again.
Stott gets a 1 count that time. Almost had Holland on his back after Holland almost rolled through. And Stott catches Holland for another 1 count. Stott had 3 1 counts in the second 30 seconds. Unable to score. Holland almost got out in the first scramble. What a great match. It comes down to a coin flip that is won by Holland. Holland's going to go top. State championship is going to be decided in these 30 seconds. Drake Holland of Herrin chooses top for this 30-second overtime. If he rides Dan Stott out, Holland is your state champion. If Stott finds a way to get away, Stott wins. Holland is in trouble here, and Holland is going to lose this match and get pinned. Dan Stott gets a pin in the third overtime. It's got to be the longest pin in state finals history. I hate to even do the time on it. I think it's 7 minutes and 45 seconds.
Dan Stott.
Dan Stott of Harvard, your winner. He defeats Drake Holland of Herrin. Holland wrestled an unbelievable match. Your heart certainly goes out for him. Neither wrestler deserved to lose that match. A great match. Holland did what he did previously. He put in the cradle when Stott came to all fours. The problem with this cradle was that Holland was really high. Stott was able to buck him even higher. And Holland gets pinned in this third overtime. I think I'm right that it was 7 minutes and 45 seconds will be the fall time. What a great match. No score in the match until that fall.
And your 2012 160-pound state champion with a record of 37-0 from Reed Custer, Billy Chansey.
Record of 45-1.
So we're about to get underway on mat number 1. It's a 182-pound final. Jake Apple, he's 31-0. He's a senior from Dakota. He's wrestling R.J. Troy of Sterling Newman, who's 29-3, a senior. Troy and Apple familiar with each other. They wrestled at the sectional finals last weekend. Troy in on a great double leg, able to get the first takedown of the match. So R.J. Troy of Sterling Newman takes a 2-0 lead. Apple defeated Troy last weekend 5-4. I believe they wrestled in the Princeton finals as well in a match that wasn't nearly as close. Troy immediately gives up the escape. It's now 2-1. R.J. Troy over Apple. Troy looking to become the 3rd state champion for Sterling Newman tonight.
Apple from Dakota, it's 31-0. He's a senior for the Indians. Gets a takedown now. He leads 3-2. Wearing the maroon singlet. He's red on the scoreboard. Where Troy is green on the scoreboard, wearing the blue and white Sterling Newman singlet.
We have a correction at the 2A 160-pound state champion. This is Dylan Reel's 3rd state championship. Dylan Reel at the 2A 160 pounds.
So Apple, ever since getting the escape and then the takedown, is in control here.
Apple trying to do what he does so well. I've watched him do it all year long. He's been able to do it even against the best kids at the state tournament. He's got that tilt that he just scores a boatload of points on. I'm sure he's just scored an unbelievable amount of points this year with that tilt that he has. It's not a pinning combination, but it just scores so many points that he's able to open up these huge leads very quickly in matches. Looked like he almost was able to score points with it against Troy, but unable to do so far. Apple leads 3-2. And that'll be the end of the first period. I got to imagine wrestling Apple a few times has got to be helpful, because being able to know how he uses that move that he's just so effective at. He's so good at getting it anytime when he's on top, that wrestling him a few times, maybe you get a better feel for it. You'd imagine it can only be helpful. Maybe that's not true. But for someone as talented as Troy, to be able to get the opportunity to get Apple a couple times, maybe it helps. Apple gets an escape as we start the second period. He now leads 4-2. Apple looking to cap his senior year with a state championship and an undefeated season. Looks like one of the referees goes over to the scorer's table. I guess a couple more seconds had run off than they wanted. So we'll restart with 1 minute and 43 seconds to go. It's 182-pound final. Troy had a really good double leg to start this match with the first round. Apple has battled back, an escape, a takedown, and an escape. Leads 4-2.
These two are familiar with each other, like you stated. Met up in the sectionals last year with Troy pinning Apple. And then, of course, we know how that ended up.
Apple got the better of him downstate.
Correct. State championship. Green man's here. That's weird. Isn't that a hockey thing?
I don't know. It's odd. 4-2. Apple with the lead. Troy in on a leg. Not all the way. Apple goes in on a shot. Troy backs away. 4-2. Still the score as we head under 40 seconds to go in the second period. Troy in on a leg as the wrestlers go out of bounds. 32 seconds to go here in the second period.
Oh, both men tried to shoot at the same time.
Apple with left arm underhook. Nothing going there. Apple in on a shot. Troy tries to go around behind. Awfully close to doing it. Unable to score any points off of it. Apple trying to keep his feet in bounds and get the takedown. Just barely unable to do so. Wrestlers go out of bounds as time runs out in the second period. It'll be Troy's choice, and he's going to go neutral. This is where Apple just being so good on the mat makes it so tough. Looks like they didn't put the 2 minutes on the clock to start the third period. Because often against guys, if you're confident on bottom, that's a point that you're going to get. You can make the match a 1 point match, but against Apple, you just want to stay away from the mat. You don't want to be on bottom against him. He'll hurt you. So Troy starts the third period neutral. Apple in on a good double leg. Can he finish it? Troy does a good job fighting it off for a moment. They scramble on the edge of the mat. Apple has Troy down to a hip, but Apple goes out of bounds. So it stays 4-2. Apple had a really good shot there. Unable to get the takedown he needs that would come close to putting this match on ice. Troy tries a double leg. Apple sprawls away. Apple's feet out of bounds. Troy just barely in. Troy comes close to getting around behind. Apple not allowing that to happen. They come back to the center and restart with 1:19 in the third period. Apple and Troy. Like we mentioned, familiar foes. 182-pound championship has 1 minute remaining in the third period. Troy shucks behind and gets two. Troy shucks Apple's head down, able to turn Apple around, get two, and Troy's confident enough that he can get the takedown to win this match, so he immediately says,
gives him the optional escape.
Give him the escape. 1 minute exactly left. Apple now with a 5-4 lead. Give Troy credit. He's confident on his feet here. This is where he thinks the match is going to be won. Troy seems like he's got a little more left in the tank. Always tough to judge. Apple a little slower getting back to the center. And Apple almost gets a takedown. A nice scramble. Oh. Troy gets in on a great single leg. Good scramble by each wrestler, and Troy gets a takedown. What a great scramble. Apple almost had a takedown. Troy almost had it. Troy ends up with it, getting in on a single leg, dumps Apple to his hip, and he has Apple broken down flat with 30 seconds left. Wrestlers towards the edge of the mat. They go out of bounds with 26 to go. Give Troy a ton of credit. He had confidence he could take Apple down, let him go with a minute, and said this match is going to be decided on his feet. Troy gets the takedown, and now he leads by 1 with 26 seconds to go. Can he ride Apple out? Troy crowds Apple. And Apple trying to roll through. Is Troy going to end up with back points? He is. I think he got a 2 count. He's going to get 2 more back points. RJ Troy now leads 8-5. RJ Troy of Sterling Newman's going to come away with the upset victory. He'll be your state champion at 182 pounds, Class 1A. He throws his ankle bands into the air. Points to the Sterling Newman crowd, which is up on its feet, cheering fervently. 8-5, your final. R.J. Troy, a state champion. Great match, a great scramble at the end. Troy able to get 2 huge takedowns and near fall points, and he wins the match. And now sprints up to his fans, friends, and brother, and gives him a hug.
We'll have a 42-2 senior from Morrison, Matt McDonald, wrestling a 39-4 junior from Lena Winslow, Logan Staver.
Logan Staver. In Class 2A at 195, Gage Mira.
And a takedown very quickly by McDonald. So Matt trying to join his brother Mark in bringing home a state championship.
Brad Johnson of Lockport will be red on the scoreboard.
A quick takedown and gives up a quick escape. 2-1. Matt McDonald of Morrison in the lead. This is the 195-pound championship match. McDonald in on another shot, single leg. And he trips Staver, but Staver had in the whizzer, and they go out of bounds.
McDonald in the red singlet, white trim, red on the scoreboard. Staver in the white, black and yellow singlet, green on the scoreboard.
Under a minute to go now in the first period. 2-1. McDonald had a nice takedown to start the match.
Staver dropped down to try to grab a single. McDonald did a nice job defending it. Drops down himself and grabs Staver's leg and now tries to chivvy it down. Staver does a good job defending that. 5 seconds left to go here. Staver trying to go around, but they go out of bounds.
First period comes to an end. 2-1. McDonald of Morrison with the lead. He has choice to start the second period, and he's going to go down.
Please report to the awards area. 182-pound award winners, please report to the awards area at this time.
Staver breaks McDonald flat in the center of the mat. Staver trying to work McDonald's arms. As McDonald completely broken flat. Now towards the edge of the mat. The wrestlers go out of bounds. Minute 16 remaining in the second period. Still 2-1 in favor of McDonald. Saw his brother stand up. Maybe yelling something along the lines of, just do what I did. Easier said than done, that's for sure. McDonald tries to roll, and he's able to reverse Staver. Matt McDonald with now a 4-1 lead over Logan Staver. And McDonald trying to catch Staver on his back. He's got Staver's right arm behind his back. Unable to score any points with that so far. Staver comes to his feet. And McDonald's hit for stalling. The refs seem to be awfully quick about calling stalling when wrestlers come to their feet. I guess they've got a 5 count in their head. McDonald gives up the escape. 4-2 now. 20 seconds left in the second period. McDonald in on a shot. Staver sprawls. They go out of bounds. So we'll head back to the center with 14 seconds left in the second period. McDonald a 4-2 lead. Staver in on a shot with 9 seconds. Staver awfully close to getting a takedown. McDonald does a good job scrambling to avoid giving it up. So the second period will come to an end. Staver's choice. He'll choose down.
Award winners at 182 pounds, you should be in the awards area by this time. 182, please report to the awards area at this time.
And we get started. McDonald trying to work on Staver's right side. And he's got Staver's right arm pinned. But the wrestlers go out of bounds. So still 4-2 in favor of Matt McDonald of Morrison. Staver tries a switch on the restart. McDonald fouls him. Staver comes to his feet. McDonald brings him back down to the mat. Tries to catch him. Staver tries to roll through McDonald. Nothing going so far, and McDonald catches Staver. I think he got a 2 count, and he might get more. He catches Staver on his back, still just the 2 near fall for McDonald. It'll open up his lead to at least 6-2. Referee awards the back points. 6-2, Matt McDonald of Morrison with the lead. 30 seconds to go. He leads Logan Staver of Lena Winslow. Wrestlers on the edge of the mat. McDonald's fine with staying there. Referee calls a stalemate. So with 21 seconds, we'll go back to the center and start again. Staver finds himself down 4 points, needing some kind of roll to win this match. McDonald doing a good job keeping the pressure on. Staver now broken flat with 13. Staver does not appear to be going anywhere. Matt McDonald from Morrison will join his brother as the state champion. Mark won it earlier at 145 pounds.
195.
Matt wins it at 195 pounds. State champion, 6-2 your final.
In class 2A, the winner, Dave Hera, Crystal Lake Central.
And your Class 3A champion, 195 pounds, from Lockport, Brad Johnson.
In second place, Taylor McGriffin from Alton. In the 2012 3A 100.
Going to be heading into our 220-pound Class 1A state championship match. We'll have a senior from Bishop McNamara with a 25-1 record, Channing Dolinger.
In Class A,
He'll be wrestling a 39-4 sophomore from Lena Winslow, Ty Harmston. Lena Winslow with back-to-back
from Lena Winslow,
state finalist here.
Ty Harmston.
At 220,
Dolinger in the gold singlet. will be green on the scoreboard. Harmston with the white singlet with yellow trim will be in the red on the scoreboard. Harmston from Lena, very tall wrestler.
In 3A.
Dolliger's pretty tall himself.
Yes, he
so.
is.
Red, Schaumburg, and green
In fact,
will be Mike
Dolliger's taller than him, taller than Harmston.
Is he?
Looks like it. Tough to tell from up here, but it appears that way. No score. We're about a minute into this match for the title at 220 pounds.
195-pound award.
Dolliger
Please report.
in on a shot. Harmston able to fight him off as they go out of bounds. 55 seconds to go in the first period. I'll restart in the center.
Minute and a half into this first period. No scores of yet. As I say that, Dolliger drops down and picks up Harmston's leg. Now sweeps by the edge of the mat and gets 2 for the takedown.
Nice move by Dolliger there to get the takedown on the edge of the mat. Got in on a good single, able to finish it right on the edge of the mat. .14 seconds left as the wrestlers go out of bounds. Dolliger still on top.
But I was like, hey, watch out for these moving stairs.
195-pound award winners, please report to the parts area. Take a seat. 195-pound award winners, please report at this time.
Still 2-0 in favor of Dolliger.
First period comes to an end. Dolliger's choice. He's going to go down to start the second period. And he gets an escape. 3-0. Now your score.
Dolliger taking 4th last year at the 215-pound weight class. Had an injury at the beginning of the season. Now go out of bounds, bring it back to the center with 1:18 left to go in the second period. 3-0 in favor of Dolliger.
Nice shot by Harmston. It's in on a single. Dolliger able to fight it off so far. 50 seconds remaining in the second period. Dolliger tries to hook that ankle and get the 2. He's awfully close to getting it. There it is. So Channing Dolliger takes a 5-0 lead. In control of this match as we had under 30 seconds to go in the second period. Harmston got in on a good shot, but just wasn't able to do anything with it. Dolliger able to counter really well and able to eventually go around and get the 2. Harmston with the escape. Under 10 seconds now in the second period. And that'll do it. So third period coming up. It'll be Harmston's choice. And he'll start bottom after looking over at his coaches.
Going to do the optional start. They'll let him go, give him a point, so it's 5-2.
Dollinger looking to get around behind, and he does. 7-2 now. Channing Dollinger of Kankakee McNamara has opened up a 5-point lead. He gives up another escape. So 7-3. Harmston looking to get back in this match. Shoots in on a leg, unable to get anything. Harmston in on a good single leg. Is he going to be able to finish it? He's been on a couple good single legs so far in the match, and this time it looks like he's going to get the takedown on the edge of the mat. So 7-5 now your score. 57 seconds to go in the third period. Harmston able to finish. And now we've got a close match on our hands. A 2-point lead. Dollinger gets an escape. Now 8-5, he leads it. Under 45 seconds to go in the match. Harmston's going to have to move now. Looks like referee stops the match. And we'll restart it in the center. Under 40 to go. Harmston in on a shot. Unable to get anything in on another shot. Dollinger warned for stalling for the first time. And then Dollinger in on a nice double leg, but the wrestlers go out of bounds. So 8-5 still your score. 20 seconds remaining in the match. Harmston in on a shot again. Unable to score any points as the wrestlers go out of bounds. 9 seconds to go. Channing Dollinger of Kankakee McNamara 9 seconds away from a state championship. Harmston tries a headlock, unable to get it. So Channing Dollinger of Kankakee McNamara will be your state champion at 220 pounds. 10-5 your final.
Your Class A champion at 220 pounds, Channing Dollinger of Kankakee McNamara. Johnson, a senior from Lockport with a record of 37-0.
About to get underway. And our final match of the night, it should be a good one. Colin Peace of Pittsfield, he's 44-1. Senior, Colton. Sorry, Colton. I can't read. It looks like 2 L's, not a T. Colton Peace of Pittsfield, wrestling Reed Sealby of Byron. Both wrestlers come in with 1 loss. Both are seniors.
Wrestling for Brazil, Jeremy Brazil, Yorkville, Seth Gonzalez.
And 3A man.
Both wrestlers looking to bring home their first state championship.
Must be supporting green. And from Bolingbrook, Bob Payne is supporting red.
Pease is in the white singlet with the red trim from Pittsfield. And Sealby in that, like we mentioned before, my favorite singlet. It's like a goldish color with a orange and black tiger on the side. COB is green on the scoreboard. Pease is red. Both men just kind of feeling each other out here. First minute is gone. Heavyweight, a very, I know we talked about this earlier, very athletic weight class this year.
These guys definitely very good wrestlers, good technical wrestlers. I mean, sometimes you see heavyweights that look like the coach needed someone to fill in at heavyweight, so they got one of the football players out for the team, and there isn't a whole lot of technique because they don't know a whole lot of wrestling. That definitely hasn't been true here at all three of the weight classes. I mean, we've seen good technical wrestling and seen a really stacked weight class, certainly in 1A in particular at 285 pounds. COB will start the second period on bottom.
Be a caution on CLB. Early jump. So they'll reset and try it again. Clean start this time.
Peace able to break CLB down to the mat. CLB tries to get a base and get to his feet. CLB tries to roll through. Peace catches him. Not for any back points yet. Got a 1 count, and that's it. So Peace catches CLB, who tries to roll through. Only got a 1 count on the back points. Got to have 2 to score. Peace tries to chop the arm of CLB. So far, a good job riding by Peace. CLB comes to his feet.
220-pound place winners. Please report to the award.
Peace returns him back to the mat.
220-pound place winners.
And the wrestlers go out of bounds. Exactly a minute to go in the second period. We start again. And Peace and CLB find themselves on the edge of the mat again. They're out of bounds. Back to the center to restart it. 10 seconds went by that time. 50 seconds remaining in the second period. No score. And CLB's able to get away. So a big escape and a 1-0 lead for CLB of Byron. CLB looking to bring home Byron's second state championship of the night. Nelson Baker earlier had a fall in the first period at 113 pounds to bring home his state championship. CLB looking to do the same. Under 20 seconds now left in the second period. They go out of bounds with 9.
£220 award winners, you should be seated in the awards area at this time. £220 award winners.
Peace drives into CLB, but they run out of time. No points scored. It'll be Peace's choice. He's going to choose down to start the third period. 1-0. Reed Sealby of Byron leads.
Sealby now with a single leg of Pease, lifts up, tries to trip him. Pease does a great job getting his leg down. Throws an overhook in, gets the whizzer, and they go out of bounds. Very nice job there by Pease.
Unable to get away. Was close to doing it, but the referee signaled that Sealby still had
Correct.
his arms locked around Peace. But Peace able to get the escape, and we're tied 1-1. It's going to come down to who can get that takedown to win this match.
All heavyweight matches on the floor right now are tied at 1.
Interesting. All in the third period. Actually, looks like Mat 2's in overtime. Wrestlers go out of bounds. 1:02 remaining in the third period. Colton Peace of Pittsfield, Reed Sealby of Byron. A couple of seniors looking to cap their career with a state championship.
Pease's one and only loss has come to Kepi, who finished third from Riverdale. That was at the Princeton tournament semifinals.
Sealby close to getting a takedown on the edge of the mat. Peace did a great job to get off his hip, to sprawl out and not to give up the takedown. Byron's fans thought for sure that was going to be a takedown, but Peace didn't give it up. So under 30 seconds we go, still tied at 1.
Overtime on the Class 3A mat. Overtime, Class 3A.
Looks like every single match is going to go into overtime. It's going to be overtime on mat number 1 here in the Class 1A 285-pound final.
All 3 minutes. I say also.
It's probably a first. Overtime on every single mat. And we have a 1-minute sudden death overtime first here on mat number 1. Wrestlers go out of bounds with 49 seconds left. Now under 30 to go. Sealby locks around Peace. Somebody's going to end up with a takedown here. It's going to be Sealby of Byron.
He's going to work for a pin now. No fall.
But he's going to have the win. He's going to get 2 back points, so 5-1 will be the final. In sudden death overtime. You knew when both wrestlers locked up that somebody was going to end up with a takedown. Sealby from Byron able to get the job done. He's your state champion at 285 pounds. Reed Sealby finishes off his senior year 43-1 and a state champion.